Welcome back to the SRK final at Buckmore Park. If you haven't seen part 1, what the hell are you doing? Go watch it now, link in the description. But here we go, starting off for heat number 3. We're a bit further back in this one, about 14th or something like that, maybe 12th. I can't even remember which number I just put on the screen. Anyway, as you can see, it's very bumpy. It really is dodgems through these first few corners. The track is drying now, it's getting a lot quicker. And everyone is fighting for turf. It's going, yeah, there's a lot going on. There's a hell of a lot going around. We are in a sandwich. We was in a sandwich just before now as well. And we're just trying to fight our way through. And we've got a pretty good run here. We're going to try going around the outside of this drive. We've got the inside line here, but obviously not close enough. Almost absolutely smashing the barrier there. So not one of my wisest moves, but luckily we didn't die, so that's always good. And yeah, just some usual first lap shenanigans. And we thought we had a good run in. Let's go for a dive. Track was actually wet. Straight into the side we go to that drive. I do apologise. If I knew that was that wet, I wouldn't have done it. As you can see, even more wet there. Sliding off wide. Not actually losing the position. Then I say that. And there goes Tom Seabrook on the inside. So you can see now the track is really, really drying out. And all these lines are becoming available. So going into the back of Tom there. Sorry about that. My bad, I messed up my braking. We've got Diego and another driver off there, so maybe they've had to come in together and kind of pushed each other wide. I don't know. We've got a driver up the inside. It's going to be Oliver Biani, and it's going absolutely crazy. Everything's happening now, left, right and centre. So absolute crazy start to this third heat, and I don't even know where we are. I don't know if we've gained or if we've lost, or if I'm going to say we're somewhere in the middle. We haven't lost or really gained anything. We've overtaken, but then we got yeah, it's crazy. It's a crazy start to this heat, and a lot of track extending. Just trying to find the limits now, because the limits are obviously changing because the track has changed so much from what it was like in the first few heats. And you know, this only took place over an hour, so it was changing rapidly, really, really rapidly. That's the end of the first. Was that the first lap? That was the second lap. I was going to say there was a lot of action there for one lap, just definitely two. And yeah, like I said, people struggling, just trying to find the new limit, and whoever's going to find it the quickest is going to gain a lot, and that seems to be Bayani there, gaining 2 positions there in just one corner. So absolute madman. We got passed by Diego. He's already on a recovery drive from that off he had earlier. Some more side-by-side action up ahead. Don't do that. But then again, it's pretty dry. This kind of hairpin was kind of flat. The chicane, not hairpin, this chicane was flat the whole time. We've got this lovely 4-kart battle up ahead now. We're trying to get close enough too, but we're just a little bit behind there. We're trying to get closer. Some more side-by-sides and going off track. I was losing grip halfway through the corner, which a lot of people were doing, and you know, it looks like they're just doing it on purpose, but trust me, it's a lot harder than it looks. Definitely out there you can clobber that curb now, which is nice, and clobber this curb and clobber that curb as well if you want to gain some more time. But look at that, Diego up ahead has tagged a driver. We've gone through the middle luckily. Diego kind of just turned in on us there, so I don't really know why. I know it wasn't on purpose, but yeah, that was luckily to escape that. I thought we might have got tagged and spun around, but luckily not the case as we surge on. We've gained a few places now. But yeah, honestly, this race, it was, well, more tracks. We've got another 2 drivers off there. I think Tom Seabrook's one of them. He's really struggling. He's on the Leafs there, trying to get back onto the track. And Shane Lucas up ahead as well. But he's managed to regain his position and just stay there. So we're trying to close in on him as well. I think he's behind us in the overall standings. So someone we need to really be ahead of, because we don't want to lose any places, of course, in the overall standings. We're going for 5th, which is going to be a bit of an ask, but we're going to go for it. So you can see just closing in, especially towards the end of the track. So the whole of the second sector was really dry, apart from this corner here, which was getting drier, but see, still a bit wet. And this corner here, definitely on the left-hand side, don't want to be there. Not for now, anyway, as we go over that big old curb. Getting towards the end of the race now. This corner was a little bit tricky. You see, you take a lot more speed there. We've got inside another driver. We're side by side. He's going to have the better line through this corner, arguably, but maybe not. Just, you know, there's a bit more grip coming. to the inside now, which there wasn't earlier, so we've managed to keep that position, and it's just letting Shane up ahead just get away and just build his gap between us. The driver behind is getting a little bit frustrated, and he kind of sends it down the inside here, so fair play, good move, and loses the back end through that corner. Again, it's kind of, you think it's dry and then it's not, and Diego compromises, then he goes wide there as well, because it's dry and then it goes wet and you lose all the grip you had, and so you can be easily fooled into making a move here. You think it's fine, you think it's clean to go for it, and then bam, all of a sudden you've lost the car, you've gone off. And yeah, you can see that happening a lot, especially in that last sector, more than anywhere else. I mean, the first few corners were kind of wet the whole event because of the moisture from the trees. But got that driver again, he's got much more ahead of us. We are way too much on the greasy part of the track. He swoops around the outside, gets the move done, so does Diego. He follows as well, and that's 2 places lost. So that was a little bit irritating, something we did earlier as well. But you know, yeah, it's what it is. I mean, look how much they pulled away already. So obviously having a lot more confidence, or finding that quicker part of the track much faster than we were able to in this race, and that's why we've probably dropped off so much. And yeah, I mean, we've lost a huge amount of time on this lap. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this race. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's final lap now. Final lap now. Can't even remember my own video. So that's great. So Diego's gone off wide again there, but he's managed to get the car back on the track quite quickly compared to some of the other laps previous and some of the other drivers. And we're just trying to. I mean, there's not much we can do apart from just kind of hope. There's some big old carnage up ahead, but I think that's going to be a bit of an ask. As we go through the last sector, the funnest part of the track, I'd say. I think a lot of people would probably say that. And yeah, again, that dry line just enabling us to take a bit more curb. And I'd love to drive this track in the dry. I think it must be so fun. Just got to go flat out kind of the whole time. Oh, we've got Tom Siebert there. I forgot he was there. And we've kind of aquaplaned on the wet bit. I kind of pushed him off the track a little bit there. We had the racing line though, and we're just battling to keep him behind us, which we do. That was a bit scary. Even scared me now. So I completely forgot about that happening. So yeah, that was a close call. We went to heat. That's the third heat. The track is almost completely dry, apart from this corner here. This corner, look. That corner is horrible. Oh, there's some guys coming round to... no point talking about yeah, that's still a wet line from there. As I was saying, yeah, almost wet, almost dry, still a bit wet in some places. I think I started like 40th or something. I think I finished 12th. It was annoying because I had Diego and someone else in front of me who had an accident. I got in front of them and I just couldn't keep them behind. They caught in the end. So yeah, no, brutal out there. It really was. It's like bumper cars today because you think it's dry and then it turns wet. And so yeah, onto the finals we go. Who knows where we're going to start? Probably in the C final. Hopefully the B. So we actually got into the B final, just about scraping through. But the biggest thing to note about this race is while we were waiting for the results for the finals to be announced, God was like, you know what, let's make it rain. So he did, and it started raining, so the track was drying out, and from what we was watching, it's gone back to a complete wet line around most of the track. But yeah, I mean, it rained, but it wasn't like heavy rain, so it's kind of gone back to how it was maybe a couple of races ago. So anyway, here we are, going into turn 1. We're starting about 15, about 17, I think, something around that. I literally put it on the screen, I can't remember. Okay, it's what it is. Floodlights are on, it's getting dark now. It is that time in the UK, of course. And just trying to fire our way through on this first lap. Not to make too many mistakes. And just see where we end up. So we have got a chance of an SRK2 podium. But we need to beat a couple of the guys in front of us. So up the inside we go on a wet track. So pretty... I don't want to say it's a bold move, but I was kind of like, you know what, I'm just going to go for it this race, and if what happens, what happens. I mean, it's going to be my last race of the year, so let's just go for it and make as many moves as we can. So yeah, the lines, people are still trying to figure out where the lines are. You know, where can we go? I mean, up here is definitely still a wet line. That's why we're kind of going a bit wider there. So we've got a lot more traction in the car up ahead, especially through here as well. We're side by side, and this is where I've made arguably one of my biggest mistakes in rental karting. Here we go, just onto the wet stuff, slid straight into the guy next to me. It just spun me around, so hugely frustrating. We've lost a huge chunk of time from that, and yeah, I don't really know what to say. I mean, you've seen the accident at the start of the video as well, so you've got that kind of outsider perspective of it, but let's just run back the replay one more time. So yeah, you can see me just bang the steering wheel, just pure frustration. I can't believe I've messed myself up this much, and yeah, just not much to say. You can see what happened. 100% my fault on that one. I just got way too confident, or just trying things that just weren't ready to be tried. But hey, you know, you go for it, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. But anyway, we lost a huge amount of time. We were so far off the back, and I was absolutely pushing, as you can see there, just track limits, just, yeah, not very good around that corner. Yeah, I just wanted to push as hard as I could to catch up with anyone, really. Hope there was some kind of drama to make up a place or two. That's all we could do. And actually, later on in the race, we have actually started to catch up. So maybe we had a good car, maybe I was driving really well. I like to think it's the latter. And we've caught up right to the back, and it's only about halfway through, so in about 4 minutes, halfway through the race, we're straight back. I don't think there was any accidents, or I don't know anything that happened ahead, but I felt like I was absolutely flying in this race. I felt great. Again, a bit of a bad line there, but the car ahead, he's going to go right into the path of us, just pushes us onto that big curve there. We almost slid around them, to be fair, so luckily managed to save that as we're fighting to catch up with some more guys in head. So really we need to work together to catch them. We need to work together, obviously. So yeah, and you can also see that corner there where we spun earlier actually drying out a bit now, so it's just getting drier and drier as the race goes on. So even through this race, the lines are changing. I mean, I think we looked so much better through the first couple of corners compared to some of the other drivers. There's the other cut off there, so that's 1 place gain. So there we go, we're not last anymore. Green flags or green lights back on now, as it is just getting trickier and trickier as the line's constantly changing throughout the whole race. So you might have overtaken him apart before, or you might have been taking one line one lap before, and the next lap you can take a different line, and you'll see that here as well. So you're just getting a bit more drier, a bit more grippier on the inside, on the racing line here, than it was. We've had a much better exit there, or just a bit better exit. But again, I actually do look for a move there, but glad I backed out of it. You've already seen what happens if you do that, and look, you can kind of go all the way to the left there now, which we haven't been able to do all day, and again all the way to the left there as well. So back onto the racing line we go for the second half of this race, as we are desperately pushing to just make up something, you know, just to finish as high as we can, finish on a good high. But regardless, I think that we've managed to catch up kind of on our own merit. Where's a really good recovery drive, if I do say so myself. One of my strongest drives of the season, for sure. So yeah, we're not really able to get past Peters here. Kind of just stuck behind him. There's not really any opportunity to overtake without the risk of a crash. But up ahead, there's a huge battle going on. Someone's gone off wide there, so we're going to get past them. That's another place gain for us. I think got the orange helmet is Sam Cox, so he's defending his position. I think he struggled a lot during this race, whether that's car or conditions, I'm not too sure, maybe a bit of both. But yeah, I think about a couple laps left now in this one. Again, not being able to go for a move into turn 1. I, again, can't recommend against that enough. As we close up in the second corner, but just not able to get underneath him, because obviously there's just no grip. The line's changing every single lap. So yep, Sam going on some mad defence now. We got Peters up ahead, who's gone off the track, just sliding mid-corner, just pushing every every inch of the track. And there's going to be a bit of drama here. As you see, the driver in front tries to go past Sam, and he does so. Sam's defending now, trying to get back up the inside. He kind of slides into Peters. Now we're looking at the inside, but we think better of it. No, let's stay behind. We don't want to crash. And maybe try to get him back on the straight. So there we go. Just sitting behind Sam right now. So we've got a lot more grip than him. You can see he's struggling a huge amount. So maybe it is the car. I don't know. But you can see all up on that curb now, even though it's wet. We've got the last lap of the season. Let's finish on a high. This is for 5th in class if we can get past Sam. And so we're just going to just go for it. As long as it's clean, of course. So the opportunities to overtake are kind of there. We have a much better exit than Sam. I'm going to go alongside him. I'm going to kind of dive it down the inside. We've got a little bit of grip. He's got more grip than us. As we kind of just go, I think he tries to get a cutback on us. He kind of goes into the side of us, but we managed to get enough grip on the exit. We get past Sam, and that's it, 5th in class. And here's another look at this move.
Yes, come on, Jake, come on. Fucking elbows out, boy, come on.
So yeah, as you can hear, my father just really kind of cheering me on in that one. So great to have the support as always. As we come around the last few corners of the season, trying to make a couple of places up, but I think it's just going to be a little bit too much to ask. And yeah, that's going to be it. We're going to finish 5th in class. We're going to finish 30th overall, and an awesome recovery drive by myself to finish the season. And honestly, yeah, top respect to Sam and everyone in this championship who's raced me fairly. Yeah, awesome season. Okay, so we got into the B final where we started 3rd last, I think. You would have seen on the footage, I spun, just too wet. I don't know why I did it. I knew it was going to be too wet, but I still did it for some reason. Really stupid of me, and then I spun around, thought I was going to die. That was fun. But yeah, we were so far behind, and we had some mad recovery. I don't know where exactly we finished, you'll see it on the screen, but I think we're about 5th in class, so it's a little bit frustrating because we were really quick, really good. It is what it is. We're just going to see where the results kind of finish now, and it's last season, so stick around, see what happens, and everything, all the points, everything will be on here. You'll see them all by now. I'll only talk again if something major happens, but yeah, everything will be on screen now so you can see where we finished. And yeah, really great, good race, good way to finish the season.